Okay, I want to cover this story. Um, this just came out today. FEMA denies grants to 3 Kentucky counties hit by devastating storms. Denials are latest by agency as Trump administration seeks to shift burden of disaster recovery to states. So what happened is that back in May, Kentucky got hit by some bad thunderstorms that did a lot of damage, and now apparently FEMA isn't sending them money. The grant was denied, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency denied requests for 3 Kentucky counties affected by severe storms last spring and deemed the state ineligible for hazard mitigation grants that would help prepare it for future disasters. FEMA officials said the areas didn't suffer enough damage to merit federal support, as the Trump administration seeks to shift the burden of responding to and recovering from disasters onto states. So Trump cuts FEMA, wants states to take over disaster relief more than the federal government. Understand that, like, when a state goes through a bad natural disaster, the state and the local governments may not have enough money to help everyone rebuild and to clean up, but that's what the federal government is for. It has more money and more resources and can direct it towards where it's needed. And now under Trump, it's just not happening. I guess because he doesn't care. And understand that Kentucky is a red state. They voted for Trump last year, and Trump gets elected, and then he cuts off their disaster relief aid. And this is not good, man, because, like, his very voters aren't getting any disaster relief. I mean, what did they think they were voting for? So let's keep reading. FEMA, which was responsible for an on-the-ground response during large-scale emergencies, along with coordinating resource deployment, funding recovery, and supporting efforts to mitigate risks, has been left critically under-resourced and unprepared for the escalating and compounding catastrophes wreaking havoc across the U.S. with greater intensity and frequency. Because after all, with climate change, these kinds of events are going to become more common and worse. And we need FEMA now more than ever. But with Trump's cuts, like, we're not getting it. And here's another article. This is from February. FEMA firings hit agency already suffering from staffing shortages. After firing 200 first-year employees this weekend, FEMA was directed to make a list of anyone who had worked on climate or equity. So back in February, massive cuts, and then also climate or equity, because they, I guess that's DEI. They don't want to study that. And then, so that was in February, right? March, April, May, literally 3 months later, Kentucky, a red state, desperately needs FEMA money, but they're not going to get it. Here's another one. DHS Secretary Noem says we'll move to eliminate FEMA, a long-term Trump target. This was in March. So it's not enough just to defund it. They want to eliminate it and just have states do it. And understand that, like, just having the states respond to these types of natural disasters means that the richer states are going to have a better time than the poorer states. And the blue states do tend to be richer, which means that the poor red states that voted for Trump are the ones who are going to be the most hurt by these funding cuts. But while we may not have enough money to give to disaster relief, a dedicated FEMA fund will pay for alligator Alcatraz. The immigrant detention facility in Florida, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, is being funded largely by the FEMA's Shelter and Services Program. So we have the funding to build a concentration camp without due process in the Everglades. But when it comes to helping out Americans, including Trump supporters, from natural disasters, there's nothing, all right? So okay, so we have money for this, for Alligator Alcatraz, but not for disaster relief. I mean, this is absolutely, like, ridiculous. And it goes back to what I said. Trump does not care about you.